Using cloud computing and big data infrastructure as a foundation, predictive analytic models could focus on a variety of dimensions that comprise the contextual and outcome regime needed to more fully understand the empirical evidence associated with CMMI adoption and usage. A globally oriented, smart, and trusted Watson-like CMMI Cloud Vision resource would serve as an outcome-focused catalyst for disruptive change and force multiplier for those able to exploit its benefits. The CMMI community would be a good place to demonstrate such a cloud vision. In connection with CMMI for acquisition, development, and services, just consider the possibility of a renovated assessment paradigm built on global outcome-based results hosted in the cloud using big data for every assessment ever done anywhere, and predictive analytics capable of positioning an organization's metrics by geography and industry sector for cost, schedule, quality, performance, release frequency, requirements stability, change, innovation, technical debt, product size, time, effort, productivity, defects, complexity, span of responsibility, commercial off the shelf, outsourced workload, and incremental and iterative development. The terms of reference for this project include capability maturity model integration, cloud computing, big data, predictive analytics, Hadoop as integrating element, the challenge, plan of action, smart and trusted signature, claiming outcomes and assuring results. The Capability Maturity Model Integration, CMMI, is a framework of best practices that focus on assuring product quality through process performance. The CMMI is being adopted worldwide by government, military, and commercial organizations as the standard for process improvement. Wikipedia defines cloud computing as the use of computing resources, hardware and software, that are delivered as a service over a network, typically the internet. Cloud computing consumers entrust these remote services with users' data, software, and computation. Cloud computing architecture may be private, public, or hybrid. Wikipedia defines big data as a collection of data sets so large and complex that it becomes difficult to process using on-hand database management tools or traditional data processing applications. Big data users benefit from the analytics and correlations obtained from large, diverse data sources, both structured and unstructured. Wikipedia defines predictive analytics as a variety of techniques from statistics, modeling, machine learning, and data mining that analyze current and historical facts to make predictions about future or otherwise unknown events. Hadoop is a useful and common tool for effective big data management, distribution, and operations. It is a well-adopted, standards-based, open-source software framework inspired by Google's MapReduce architecture, created by Yahoo, and maintained by Apache Software Foundation. A three-layer architecture integrates an application and user access layer, a workload management layer, and a distributed parallel file system and data layer where a master node, worker nodes, data nodes, job tracker, task tracker, and name node deliver high scalability, low latency, predictability, and high availability attributes of high performance computing. A wall hanging in Albert Einstein's office stated, "Not everything that counts can be counted, and not everything that can be counted counts." While Carnegie Mellon University's Software Engineering Institute's Capability Maturity Model for Software, CMM, and its Capability Maturity Model Integration, CMMI, have been assessing and tabulating software process maturity for 25 years. Are there other software dimensions that count? and should be counted? And to what extent does software process maturity matter when it comes to determining global software competitiveness and cybersecurity? Today, technology exists to count everything, whether it counts or not. In connection with CMMI for acquisition, development, and services, just consider the possibility of a renovated assessment paradigm built on global outcome-based results hosted in the cloud using big data for every assessment ever done anywhere, and predictive analytics capable of positioning an organization's metrics by geography and industry sector for cost, schedule, quality, performance, release frequency, requirement stability, change, innovation, technical debt, product size, time, effort, productivity, defects, complexity, span of responsibility, commercial off-the-shelf, outsourced workload, and incremental and iterative development. It is time to elevate measurement and metrics to a bigger stage. This globally oriented, smart and trusted Watson-like CMMI Cloud Vision resource would serve as an outcome-focused catalyst for disruptive change and force multiplier for those able to exploit its benefits. The CMMI community would be a good place to demonstrate such a cloud vision. The CMMI Institute would be given the first right of refusal. After that, it falls back to the CMMI entrepreneurial community to take it on as a business opportunity, perhaps in association with Carnegie Mellon University, and keep an eye open for a white knight. The key here is to maintain a legitimate access to process assessment data, past, present, and future. The result of using cloud computing, big data, and predictive analytics in the manner envisioned would be to raise the level of play for CMMI users and the CMMI assessment community. In fact, it might accelerate interest and fuel motivation to become a high-maturity organization. Beyond that, it might reduce the dependency of the CMMI community on traditional assessments, as enterprise executives are provided a way to focus on outcomes more closely coupled to business goals. As in most innovation rollouts, it is necessary to deal with resistance. Here, the CMMI Cloud resource would explicitly seek to be both smart and trusted. It would be smart if the CMMI community was on the same page with respect to the use of cloud computing, big data, and predictive analytics. The result would be a smart resource not currently available. Cloud startup is straightforward. Big data begins with the definition of the spreadsheet in the sky, that is, the columns used to structure the database for the math and statistics functions, database operations, and reporting generation. The initial statistical operations would be straightforward cross-correlations of variables taken two at a time. Later, multivariate analysis would involve user-driven models. It would be trusted if everyone had confidence that the CMMI cloud and its big data contained every assessment ever done anywhere and employed predictive analytics capable of positioning a user's metrics by geography and industry sector. Perhaps it would prohibit random trolling of individual results by curious third parties. But here the protocols for trusted use would need to evolve. Clearly, an organization would be accorded access to data on itself as well as on its position in its industry sector, maturity level, and geography. Then there is the question, who would take the lead on all this? The purpose of assurance assertion management is to reason about the emergent properties of large, complex, software-intensive systems in order to steer acquisition, development, and operational commitment towards their assurance and to guide users in setting the appropriate level of confidence in these systems and systems of systems. An assurance assertion is a statement designed to inspire confidence. These emergent product properties transcend the rigorous and precise methods of assessing essential compliance beyond those in process conformance and product testing. some attribute and aspect examples of emergent properties associated with software products, systems, and systems of systems include safety, security, trustworthiness, survivability, resiliency, high availability, predictability, and privacy. Assurance assertions themselves are subject to validation and verification, and it is here that managing the risk associated with assuring these attributes is focused. The claim argument segment of the assurance assertion chain is validated when the correspondence between a claim and its arguments is shown to be clear and convincing with respect to completeness and correctness. The argument evidence segment of the assurance assertion chain is verified according to the degree of correspondence between the evidence and the argument. 4 levels of confidence for appraising evidence are identified as follows. The evidence in support of the argument is sufficient. The preponderance of the evidence supports the argument, that is, through assessment, interview, testimony, and inspection. The evidence in support of the argument is clear and convincing, that is, measurement and static analysis. The evidence in support of the argument is beyond the shadow of a doubt, that is, demonstration and dynamic analysis. Using the CMMI cloud computing and big data infrastructure as a foundation, predictive analytic models could focus on a variety of dimensions that comprise the contextual and outcome regime needed to more fully understand the empirical evidence associated with CMMI adoption and usage. The CMMI Big Data Database would be populated with globally oriented outcome-focused information spanning the range of CMMI assessment and results data, software project assessment data beyond the CMMI, global software competitiveness data, software inspections data, and known cybersecurity weaknesses. From all this, there would be real information on the value of the CMMI model in terms of return on investment and business value. Furthermore, the range and stability of lead assessor performance would be revealed, including ad hoc, literal compliance, and business-oriented spirit compliance. With this information, the shoemaker's children themselves could become the target for process improvement, something that is apparently needed. We're thinking here about software inspections, return on investment, technical debt triggers and analytics, fixed price contracting readiness, cybersecurity cause and effect, resiliency maturity framework indicators, security return on investment in terms of cyber security. Here's my contact information. I would be happy to receive questions and have discussions with people on this important subject.